Here you are told that the diagram shows a solid formed by joining hemisphere of radius r to a cylinder of radius r and height h. The total height of the solid is 18 centimeters and the surface area is 205 pi centimeter square. We are supposed to find the value of r and the value of h. When you are given a question like this, what are you supposed to do? This is a compound solid, and then you are supposed to try to work out the surface area of each of the parts, and then you are going to add them all together, then equate that to 205 pi in order to work it out. Let us move forward and work out the surface area of the hemisphere. Remember, the hemisphere is a half the sphere. So since we know that surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared, then surface area of hemisphere is going to be a half 4 pi r squared, and this is going to become 2 pi r squared. Now that is the surface area of the top part, that is green, for the hemisphere. Now we need also to understand that the surface area, the height was given as h, but the total height was 18. The total height of the solid was 18 centimeters. How can we be able to find h? Since the radius of the hemisphere is r, so it means for us to find the remaining part of the height is going to be 18 minus r, and that's why I've said h equals to 18 minus r. So we're going to move down to work out the surface area of the curved part of the cylinder, and then I need to move this from here so that I can be able to find space to write. I'll move it all the way to that point, and then now if a cylinder is cut, it becomes a rectangle, and since this rectangle has only the bottom, so we are going to have the circular bottom there. Now the length of that curved part of the cylinder is going to be equivalent to the circumference of the top of that cylinder, which is going to be 2 pi r, and the height is going to be 18 minus r, and this is the radius. So meaning we can be able to find the area of the bottom, area of the curved part, then we add them together. So this is going to, surface area is going to be 2 pi r times h, but our h is 18 minus r plus pi r squared, which is the base. Now if you simplify this, we are going to have 36 pi r minus 2 pi r squared plus pi r squared. So this is going to simplify to 36 pi r minus pi r squared. So we have the surface area of the bottom, the curved part, and the surface area of the hemisphere. So we are going to add them all together to get the total surface area. The total surface area is going to be given by, total surface area going to be given by, we're going to add everything, and then we're going to say pi r squared plus 36 pi r equals to 205 pi. Then we can now divide all through by pi so that we can be able to cancel pi here, cancel out, and we shall remain with r squared plus 36r equals 205. Now at this point we are going to solve this quadratic equation. You can use any method. You can use factorization, you can use completing the square method, you can be able to use a quadratic formula, you can even draw a graph and then solve that. But for simplicity for this particular question, because we have done a video before on how to solve using completing the square, I'll solve this using completing the square so that we can be able to get the value of r. Then using completing square method, we are going to say r squared. Now that r squared will reduce to r, 36 divided by 2, we are going to get 18. Then we close the bracket, square like that. If you have not watched the video on how to use completing square method to solve questions, go and check it out, that you can be able to understand those steps. So once you've enclosed by square there, we're going to subtract the square of 18 equals to 205. Of course, we're going to take this on the other side, then we are going to add now 324, which is going to give us 529. Then find the square root both sides, which is going to give us 23. So we have two solutions here as well. So this is going to be r equals to negative 18 plus or minus 23, and the first value of r is going to be that, which is going to be 5, or going to be negative 41. And you can see now there's no way a measurement can be negative. Then it means we are going to cancel this. We are not going to use this, and we're going to consider this one. So our height is going to be 18 minus r, which is going to be 13. That's the value of h, and r is 5 for this particular question.